It is good to see that you survived, my friend. But then, you have fared far worse. The froth of a violent ocean should be no problem for you. While we have been absent, Oриата has become a necropolis, a swarm of Kitava's wretched servants. The situation looks more dire than I had first anticipated. Before we make our move, we must know what we are dealing with. I send you, Exile, as a scout. As the only scout that would stand a chance moving through the shifting forms of this nightmare. You must discover where Kitava resides. Only then can we issue our final blow. You needn't fret. The Dark Ember is still safely in my possession, and will remain so until our final confrontation with Kitava. That carnivorous blasphemy will fall like a log cut from the darkest of forests, and we shall watch him burn, as Oриата and the rest of this world breathes a sigh of relief. Lily Roth is a noble... how do you say it? Scallywag? I have witnessed the rise and fall of many great men and women over the eons, and Lily is well on her way to being amongst the very best of them. I suspect one day her name shall be sung in salty taverns the world around. I must remember to keep on her good side, now that she can see me. The beautiful pirate princess hunting down the great god Sin would make for a fantastic tale, I'm sure. But one I would rather have remain in the pages of fiction. Aside from my own presence, I no longer feel the vibrations of other gods. Though there may yet be more out there, for now, Рэкласта can breathe a sigh of relief. However, we must turn our sights to Kitava, who still gorges himself on those poor souls trapped in Oриата. You have drunk your fill of my kind. The essence of deity courses through your veins, waiting to be expunged upon a chosen victim. We can only hope it will be strength enough to face that demoniac of a god. Goodbye.
Well, once more, you owe me. For letting you sail around on me ship. But that's okay. I'm the kind of gal who can play the long game. Sometime in the future, I'll be in need of your services once more. You can pay me back then. All right, come on. You've got a job to do. Lives to save, gods to kill. Better get to it. That Bannon's a real siren if you ask me. Even after the beating is taken. Bulging muscles, pretty yellow hair. I'd be willing to bet the barrel of his piece is longer than a ship's mast as well, if you be understanding me drift. It's a shame in all honesty that he's one of them foolish holy men. Though even that ain't so bad. Lily Roth loves herself a challenge. Not much I can say about that raving monster. While he still breathes, it fares ill for all of us. There ain't no amount of ocean we can put between us and him that Kitava won't see as simply an extra jug of wine in his cup. Time and tide wait for no man.
Welcome ye to Oриата. Smell that fresh land lubber air. Ain't nothing like the air in Theopolis, full of debauchery and pollution, hidden neath the garb of them holy Templars. Seems the place has changed a fair bit since last I were here. A lot more blood and entrails than what I remember. Well, best Lily and I stay here, where it be safe. You journey on ahead, matey, and see what blimey buggers you get to kill next. Say, you're not in the market for a new cutlass or anything, are ya? Recently unlocked the Black Crest's old armory. Found a whole shite load of weaponry down there from another time. fancy it, be glad to show you my stock. See if there's anything in there you'd like to pick up. Now, there's a woman who can hold her own. Oh, hey, look at her! A marvelous specimen of the female persuasion. Aye, reminds me of Meredith, me long-lost sweetheart. Oh, would it be that I could have a woman like that at my side once more? Someone to stare out over the bow into the salt spray of the sea with. Someone to warm the cockles of me heart. And a few other things in my bed at night. Lousy, good-for-nothing blackguard. In all me years at sea, never have I ever serviced a filthy blackguard on my lovely ship. If the Brine King still drew breath, I tell you, having this Bannon aboard would be an affront to the Lord of Salt and Scale. Him and his kind have hung, drawn and quartered too many of ours. I don't rightly trust him. Not at all. Me thinks Lily is fixing to have her way with that damn blackguard. Well, I tell you, not if I have anything to say about it. Look at me. Never thought I'd see the day when old Whalem were to be the prudish grandfather. Yet here we are. Damn conscience will be the death of me. Fair winds and calm seas.
The prodigal returns. Have you brought with you a weapon to free us? The ravenous one has only grown more hungry since you left us, and I fear your efforts may be too little, too late. Kitava has all but destroyed us here, and our poor departed Utula's cultists have taken hold of the city. There's little ground left to tread that won't cause the grasping claws of Hinekora to reach out and wring our pretty little necks. I see your eyes, Exile. You wonder why I am here instead of at the Overseer's Tower. I'll tell you the horrible truth. The tower has fallen to the infernal devices of Kitava. That witch, Vailenta, is to blame. She lowered a secret ladder and led Kitava's cultists right to our very beds. Bannon and I barely escaped with our lives. Together, we cut through the hordes, but it was no use. They had us surrounded. Bannon created a distraction which allowed me to flee. When I last saw him, he was perched atop the rooftops, holding off our enemies, though how long he will last, I cannot say. If you are going that way, perhaps you can find him and return him to me. I have grown fond of that Templar. The fire of Namahu burns within his belly. It would not fare well for us in this war if that fire were lost. I believe Vailenta was not of sound mind. At night, we often heard her cry out in sleep, fearing unseen things. I wanted to toss her out on the streets, let the beasts of this fallen city tend to her madness. But Bannon refused to leave behind one of his own. Would that he had listened to me. Vailenta thought that if she gave us up to Kitava, the ravenous one would look kindly upon her. Well, look upon her he did. But what he saw and what she became is the thing of nightmares. Her nightmares, perhaps. In another life, perhaps Lily and I would have sailed the oceans together. I enjoy her presence and the conversation she brings. She has a call for adventure, coupled with a kind of optimism I rarely see. I hope that once all of this settles down, we might remain friends. I don't quite enjoy Whalem as much as I do his granddaughter, but Lily favors him, and so I will too, unless he does something truly horrid that forces me to revoke my opinion. A dark angel on your shoulder, perhaps? In another time, the presence of this god would trouble me, perhaps even frighten me. But in these days, I cannot afford the sensation of surprise. If he's helped you this far, as you say, then one might expect he will help you all the way to the bitter end, and that is good enough for me. Kitava's appetite has grown bigger than even his devotees had expected. His hunger moves faster now than his followers can keep up. I suppose the canals were the perfect answer to their problem, really. They converted them into one giant feeding trough to bring food to his mouth at a speedier rate. Remember, we do this for freedom comes to those who... Before their god rose from the depths, Utula and his cultists had direction. They wished to see Kitava free to stage his horrifying banquet. I was foolish enough to believe these theological mumblings as symbols for Karui freedom. Now that their prophecies have come to fruition, the cultists have lost their minds. It's hard enough to believe the end times of your chosen religion will ever happen, let alone to last longer than the final pages of your holy book. Remember, we do this for freedom.
This is an absolute disaster. I am Divinia, adjunct archivist of the Templar Order. I've returned to Oria to perform some critical research. The whole city is in chaos. I've heard the people here talking about you. Now, if you're going into that madness, I have a favor to ask of you. Most of the Templar's secret archives have probably been looted or burned by now. But there's one trove only the Master Archivist and I knew about. It's hidden within my Order's ossuary. Now, if you can, please, go there and search for a particular tome. It's called the Mortonomicon, and supposedly contains everything the Templars know about immortality. I know you're dealing with Kitava and his cultists, but this may be just as important in the long run. Goodbye.
Oh. You've had a sail, Exile. The Mary Lean is ready.
Kitava's rebirth has heralded countless tragedies, but there has been one shining light to come from it. The unshackling of my brothers and sisters. Freed Karui slaves were among the first survivors to reach the shores of Рэklasta. I watched them kiss the sand, sing, dance. I watched them finally enjoy the freedom they should have had all along. Then it started coming unwound. A man by the name of Happy Happy, who was helping the returnees resettle, has gone missing. A witness claims he was taken abroad, a slaver ship. I know where that ship took him. I want you to go there. I want you to find him, and I want you to free him. Talakura.
Yes?
Nothing's getting in our way. It would be wrong to do that here. Always get butterflies before a job.
Quit complaining, or you'll be emptying the piss buckets.
At least we ain't cleaning
I don't
up.
think so.
Easy.
Dead or alive!
You're dead.
Right.
Dead or alive?
We cutting it close now.
I see you, scum.
I cannot do this yet.
Fight like you mean it.
Dead or alive?
Oi! That's how it's done.
Wish I was surprised by this turn of events, I really do. This is just another line on a page, in a book writ only of atrocities against the Karui people. I fear this will not be some aberrant event, but is the beginning of a pattern. I appreciate your effort, though. I will stay vigilant. I hope you do as well. I will send a message to Happy Happy's friends and family. They will give him an honorable send-off. Be here if you need me.
What have you got for me?
You want to work with me? Oh, I didn't realize we were that close. This is fantastic. I'll need a partner to retrieve my early prototypes from the hands of the Templars. I made a series of precursor contraptions before I was exiled that would have led to some of my greatest achievements. If you can imagine it, my inventions could have done it. Eventually. I didn't realize who I was working for until it was too late. They seized my prototypes and exiled me for the damage I caused in the process of building them. Oof, what's a few implosions in the pursuit of progress? Or maybe it was the sea tide of acid. Or the glowing rock that made people sick. Oh yes. Care to help me steal those prototypes back? Think it through.
Yes?
Just tell me where to build. You do know what you're doing, yes?
Stop there!
Not good at all.
further! Stop there! Formation. Hey, you! Foul face! Stop them!
They're touching me.
Seize them!
We can afford no more unanticipated variables.
Don't move! Thieves, die!
I cannot do this yet.
No further! Your lives! I see you! Hold the line! For your honor! Protect it! No further! For your honor! Failure means death! Hold the line! Stop there!
My contraptions worked perfectly.
Perfectly?
My inventions! Oh, my babies! Oh, I've missed them so much. I would never have found the proper materials to recreate them here on Рэklasta, not with all the horrific creatures roaming about. Thank you, Exile. Got to remember your name next.
What have you got for me? Happy hunting! Oh? Ah, what are we shipping? I think I can sell that.
Hello.
Business, business. I'll let you... Ah, what are we... More wealth is always a good thing.
services once more. Help me! Phew. I would thank God for you, my friend, if that weren't too on the nose. I felt for sure that this time it was my turn to depart our world. Kitava's cultists surrounded Lani and I a while back. We split up and I led a distraction so she could make best her escape. Funny, I really should have considered my own plan for evasion once I'd allowed her hers. In any case, it is good to see you again, Exile. Let us talk more in a safer space. I shall meet you back at the docks.
Now that the Brine King is nothing but crab meat, his sunken domain, the ancient city of Oriata, is ripe for the plundering. My granddaddy once dedicated a good portion of his sailing life trying to hunt down the location of that monolithic city. Then, while he were otherwise indisposed, yours truly tried to follow in his gnarled footsteps, track down the teardrop, a pearl as big as your head, carved with the clues to the city's subaquatic location. I was this close to completing my grandfather's legacy when those damn Templar privateers raided me ship and took off with the teardrop, threw it in their reliquary here in Theopolis. As it were, now's the perfect time to retrieve that dazzling pearl. Think you can nab it for me? I'll make it worth your while. Maybe tick it off the list of things you owe me. Every cell-dwelling lad or lass knows of Oriata. They call it a city, but more of a slaughterhouse than anything else. Old Salty himself ruled over the place, treating its citizens as morsels from his own personal pantry. Those who weren't devoured outright were picked to try continuous family line. They became fishwives like that pretty young Nessa near ended up being. Well, the Brine King, as you know, was forced into a slumber beneath the ocean, and the city was said to have joined him there as well. A few folk managed to flee from the collapsing coral shards, start new lives for themselves, but I'll be reckoning they left all their valuables behind. Were a long time ago now. Them privateers took the teardrop, threw it in the reliquary, then took yours truly and threw me in those goddamn slave pens. Far as I can tell, they never did work out what the teardrop was for. Lucky me, I suppose. It was tough, but with the help of a few other undesirables, I managed to find me way out of them pens and into the reliquary. Made an attempt to burgle back what was burgled from me. Boy, did we sure underestimate the size of them guards the Templars had on the place. Only I managed to escape unscathed. My accomplices weren't to be so lucky. They ended up in Рэklasta, much like yourself. Fact, I believe you may have crossed paths. Creighton? Time and tide wait for no man.
Ah, good to see you made it back. You look at me with suspicious eyes. Yes, I know you have your apprehensions about me, and my new indwelling spirit. But if it helps a little, I feel innocence stirring inside me, awakening with an odd sense of gratitude towards you. If you are to go wandering the city in its current state, be careful where you step. Kitava's cultists are constantly on the prowl, actively seeking food for their god. What's worse, the passage to Kitava's feast is blocked off by two large black gates. We call them Kitava's horns, and they are utterly impenetrable to the motions of man. there is but one way in which we can reach Kitava and deprive him of his eternal meal. The staff of Avarius lies somewhere amongst the rubble of the Chamber of Innocence, still billowing with holy power. If you were to find it and return it to me, I believe the power in the staff will act as power enough. While they had me trapped, I heard those cultists' mad gibberings. Their words were akin to that of the Рэklasta cannibals. Nonsensical sentences, accompanied by the most unsettling of cackles. I fear that they have indulged too deeply into Kitava's famed habit, and caught the laughing plague that so often accompanies men and women who choose to engage in the consumption of human flesh. As I'm sure you've noticed, that damnable god Kitava no longer resides on the rooftops, as last you were here. No. The monster has acclimatized himself to Theopolis. He has set up quite the banqueting table for himself. It appears he believes he has a lot of consumption to catch up on. Best I can tell, his new residence lies through the ravaged Oриата Square and past the canals, now the feeding troughs. Heed my warning, friend. Tread lightly through that area, for those... I wouldn't blame you for being curious about the god now dwelling within me. In truth, I'm honored to have been chosen to be Innocence's vessel. You may hear this and think I sound like a pious Templar fool, but it is hard to remain an unbeliever when the gods walk around you, and indeed one sleeps inside you. No need to fear, however. Our poor purity god surely regrets the actions of his past. I can't see him, but I can feel his spirit, wounded and cowering somewhere inside me. At night, I hear him whimpering over his wounds. I must say, you hurt him good. But as much as I feel his pain, I also feel a budding newness in his heart. He is growing again, and relearning the compassion for humanity that he had lost. The Chamber of Innocence is exactly where you left it, though cultists and vandals may have had their way with it since last you visited. Innocence himself no longer cares for the place. In fact, I feel a pained revulsion for it, hence why I cannot go myself. But I'm certain you are more than capable of forging a path through that broken temple once again. Back when the cultists took control of the city, the very ground itself shook, as if pained by some dark abomination. The gnarled horns of Kitava erupted from the earth, like spiraling pillars of corruption, weaving together a barrier impeding travelers from moving through the city. Innocence blesses your journey.
Then it is as I feared. Kitava's strength has grown insurmountable in our absence, and his horns now deny us entry to his feeding trough. Evidently, the hungry god has grown picky about what crumbs now travel towards his burgeoning throat. It is this strength that concerns me. I have spoken with our friend Bannon over there, a willful vessel of my misguided brother. I knew eventually we would need to enlist my brother's services, though I had hoped we need not do so this soon. Yet, it seems that we have no other choice. We must invoke my dormant brother, slumbering within Bannon's frame. Kitava's horns are a thing of great corruption, which only Innocence's purity can dispel. Before we proceed, I feel I must confide something in you. Bannon wishes me not to speak of it, as he is willing for the sacrifice. However, I feel you should know. Once we invoke Innocence, once we dredge him up from his cocoon inside the soul of Bannon, the man shall cease to be. Only the god shall remain. Do you understand what I say, Exile? If we take this path, Bannon will die. Excruciatingly so. Burnt with purity from the inside out. As I said, Bannon is willing to commit his life to this cause. But perhaps you should... Remember, humanity needs...
Bannon is alive and well. In no small way thanks to you, I would be willing to guess. Without him being here, I would have lost my sanity or my life a long time ago. Take this gift as a token of both our appreciation. Now that you have returned, and we have managed to sturdy ourselves once more abreast this mighty ship, I ask of you one more favor. Find that traitor Violenta and kill her. Though I wish to see her dead as revenge for her insurrection, Violenta has become something far worse under the radiation of Kitava's gaze. She must be stopped. Remember, we do this for...
Was a time when the ladies would be begging for a bit of old Whalem. But I ain't felt the warm caress of a woman in a long time, and it wounded me dreadful. During me time on the sea, I heard tale of Queen Exile, and her penchant for using this land as a kind of vote for all her special shinies. One such shiny be her famed love potion, supposed to attract the drinker's ideal mate to their loins, even if that mate be far across the sea. Old Queen Exile kept the liquid in the skull of her favorite lover. Them damn Templars probably got their hands on it by now, and the potion's bizarre container has me thinking they probably went and tossed it into the ossuary along with the rest of the bones they got lying around. Exile, be ye the friend I believe you to be? Ah, see ya, chum.
Go, Hinekora.
Come on now, don't go all day.
cannot do this yet.
You seek to end the madness, yet you were its herald. It was you who allowed Kataba's return.
I cannot do this yet.
Exile, you are a welcome omen. That was a hunch you will not soon forget. You're welcome. Goodbye.